truth about your thoughts and how to take back control. And it all starts with a story that has led to me sitting in front of you talking about this right now. So this morning I woke. Now this whole week has been amazing for me in terms of waking up and just feeling alive, feeling excited, and not having any negative thoughts coming into my mind at all, and just allowing whatever the next stage is in my day to just trust that it's going to work out the way that it's supposed to work out. So it was the same for this morning. In fact, I think I was even more excited when I woke up this morning. So I got up, I did my usual thing. I went to the markets and did everything there. Bumped into a few people, had a few chats, which is what I usually do. And then I got home and I started to unpack the shopping. And as I was unpacking the shopping, I had this wave of thought just come upon me just out of nowhere. A very negative thought that was telling me that whatever it is that I'm trying to put out there, meaning, this YouTube channel and, trying to explain how slow breathing can really help and work, etc., etc., etc. The thought just washed over me and said, you're not going to succeed. And it was funny because, as I said, it just came out of nowhere, particularly because up until that time, everything was just, buzzing and happy and everything. And then suddenly this very intrusive thought that I was not going to achieve what I am putting out there to achieve. And it kind of, for a second, very, very split second, made me feel like I was going to take a step back into anxiety and go, oh, actually, really? Are you sure? Is that true? Is this really going to happen? Am I really not going to succeed? And the first thing I did, because obviously this is what I do every single day and I have done for the last 2 years, is slow my breath down. So I did. I just stood there in the kitchen and I started to slow as I could. Now, I know that I mentioned a couple of days ago in one of my other posts that whenever any sort of anxious or stressful thoughts come up, I'm slowing my breath down to a very, very slow rate. And it's sort of around about maybe 6 to 7 seconds in and about 6 to 7 seconds out. So that was basically what I did so that I could really, really slow down, connect to my parasympathetic nervous system, bring myself straight back into calm and back into presence. And as soon as that happened, I then started to remember that, well, actually, that thought's not true at all. And the reason why that thought isn't true is because you have committed to every day sitting in front of a camera, talking to a bunch of people that you've never met, hopefully thousands as time moves on, and you're going to be explaining to them about how slowing down your breath works. You have, gone through this whole, you set this whole big intention for your life, which is this is who you are and this is what you have been put here to put out there into the world. And then I thought about the times in my life when I had come up with a thought. An example, I'm a singer as well, so there's quite a few things that I've done over the time, but I'm a singer, so I wanted to bring like a cabaret into the area, like a nice cabaret club, and then I wanted to revive a jazz club, and I wanted to create a magazine. Many things that I have said to myself, I am going to set myself up and I'm going to do this. And by hook or by crook, that thing happened, regardless of whether or not there were any challenges that came up in the way, and that, might have allowed me to go, oh, actually, no, this is too big for me. I can't create this. I still created it. And I created it in such a way that these things were magnificent. And so I was quickly brought back to those moments as soon as I slowed my breath down. So it was like my breath had kind of come sweeping in to save the day, calm me down, soothe me, love me, and say, look, whatever it is that's coming in for you right now, it's not true. So to not believe it. And so that kind of brings me to what happens for many people during their day. You know, you could be going through your day, things might be, you know, happy and bubbly, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, a thought will come in. You know, it might be something to do with what it is that you're trying to create. Maybe you're creating, you know, something on the computer, or maybe there's a project that you're bringing in for work, or maybe you are an artist and you're trying to paint a particular painting, and suddenly something comes in and says, that's crap. That's not going to work. This is not who you are. And that's obviously part of the ego as well, because the ego just wants to kind of keep you in this bubble of comfort. And so what you then tend to do, or what I have certainly done in the past as well, is to latch myself onto those thoughts and go, yeah, that is probably true. Well, if that's probably true, then I'm going to have to change the way that I do this, or maybe this isn't for me, or maybe there's something else that I should be doing. And so what I really want to put forward today is, as I said, you know, your thoughts are not the truth, okay? Mainly, they're not the truth, particularly the ones that are filled with limiting beliefs, the ones that are negative, the ones that are telling you that you're unable to do a particular thing, it's not within who you are, or something like that, even though you know deep down in your heart of hearts that what it is that you're trying to bring into the world is something that is beautiful, it's going to help a lot of people. And this could be anything. I said it could be your art, it could be a business idea that you have, it could be, I don't know, working with a big group of people, a big project that you're wanting to work on, and you know within your heart of hearts this is something that you have been called to do. You feel very, very strongly about it, and therefore you are going to put your heart into it. And then just suddenly, at a flick of a switch, this thought comes in and tells you that it's not going to happen. And so what I would advise to do, as I do with this channel, is to, as soon as that happens, is to just slow your breath down, and slow it down to as slow as you can go. Now, obviously, because I've been slowing my breath down for a long time, I can go even deeper on the inhale and on the exhale as well. But you might want to just start off firstly with just slowing it down to an in breath of maybe even 4, an out breath of 4, or maybe 5 as well, if you can go to that. But do that first, and then start to watch or listen and observe that thought. Really observe it. Don't let it take part, or don't let it take over you at that time, but just observe it, and observe it with an open heart as well. And so what then will happen is that thought will then start to not so much dissipate straight away, but what will happen is that when you're observing it, your higher self will then actually start to come up with all of these different ideas as to why, and truths, of course, as to why whatever this thought is that's coming in is not to be seen as truth. And when that happens, you know, at that point, then you can just disconnect from it. Now, of course, if a thought's coming through that is telling you not to jump into the fire, when there's a big lit fire over there because you're going to get burnt, then of course you really need to step back and not step into that fire. But if it's something that you know full well that you have tried within your heart of hearts to do, to bring into the world, and you know that it's something that you're really, really passionate about, then that is the time to not listen. And what you'll find as well is going to happen, and the reason why that thought is so strong and why it is taking over you so much, is because that thought then leads to an emotion. And we spoke about emotions yesterday and how the emotions are going to sit, the majority of them are sitting around the chest area. Sometimes they're in the head, the shoulders, sometimes they're in the abdomen, depending on what type of emotion that is. But mainly stress and anxiety and fear and things like that, they're kind of sitting around this area here. And so whenever the thought comes into your mind of a limiting belief that I can't do this, this is going to go nowhere, this is not for you, that person is not or you're not going to find the right person for yourself in this lifetime or right now or whatever. And then as soon as that thought happens, it then starts to create an emotion. And then when that emotion comes in, you then start to amplify that thought. And then what tends to happen is you're going to get this circle of thought, emotion, circle, thought, emotion. So when the thought comes up, it goes into the chest, it starts to make you feel bad, and then it then starts to fuel the thought. When you fuel the thought, it then starts to amplify the emotion, and so on, 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 until what ends up happening is you're sat in a sort of time of oh crap, this is bad, this isn't going to work for me. And then you start to get yourself into a really sort of low state, and start to believe, like truly believe, that whatever that thought is, it's the truth when it's not. So first things first, as soon as any thoughts come up into your mind that you know is taking you away from your path, slow your breath down. Slow it down to as slow as you can, and then start to listen. Listen to the messages, listen to and it's funny because they do come up as words. Now, I had this conversation with a friend only today, and we were talking about how the thoughts that come through when you slow your breath down it's like there's a second person, if you like, or a second part of you. Let's say a second part of you that is trying to communicate with you. So if you can imagine it like that, that's going to really allow you to see that your breath and slowing down your breath is actually your greatest friend. It's the part of you that is giving you the most love, because everything that is being said as that breath is being slowed down, and every thought or everything that's coming through for you to overcome the feelings that the thought is giving you at that time, those negative feelings, those negative emotions, that it's like it's holding you, enclosing you, and it's just telling you that your life is going in the way that it's supposed to go. You are here for a particular purpose, and you are to live your purpose, and to not think and to not allow anything that's negative to overshadow that, because you know where you're going. So that's what I wanted to really talk to you about today. And look, if you're really wanting to go a little bit further into this and find out a little bit more about how slowing down your breath can really help you go about your day in the best way possible, and to bring you into that state of calm and of peace and of balance whenever you need to, then click the link in my description. There's a beautiful 6-week course that I have put together called Master Your Breath, Master Your Life. And that goes through every part of your life as it is. So we're talking about awareness, we're talking about relationships, we're talking about your desires, limiting beliefs that come up that allow you to, or to take you away from those desires, and everything else. It's a really beautiful course that if you're really wanting to go deeper and find out more about your breath, how your breath's currently sitting at the moment and what it's doing for you, and then how you're able to slow your breath down to get the most out of your life, then please click the link below. And of course, please subscribe if you like my content. And I look forward to delivering more content to you again tomorrow. Thank you. Hi, I'm Amanda Jane, and I want to invite you on a 6-week journey that will transform your reality. Master your breath, master your life. Now, this course goes beyond breathwork, as it's about slowing your current breathing pattern moment by moment to create calm, clarity, and focus. And when you master your breath, you open the door to awareness that releases limiting beliefs and aligns you with the life that you truly desire. With guided meditations, daily practices, and weekly breakthroughs, you'll discover how slowing down your breathing can empower every aspect of your life. Your life is waiting, one slow breath at a time. So let's begin.